Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 28 Greenpeace Movement, we are continuing our topic Greenpeace Movement's Global Avenues of Actions, and our subtopic is Campaign Against Genetic Engineering. While scientific progress in molecular biology has a great potential to increase our understanding of nature and provide new medical tools, it is also used to turn the environment into a giant genetic experiment by commercial interests. The biodiversity and environmental integrity of the world's food supply is very important for our survival to be put at risk. Genetic engineering enables scientists to create plants, animals, and microorganisms by manipulating genes in a way that does not occur naturally. These genetically modified organisms, GMO, can spread through nature and interbreed with natural organisms, thereby contaminating non-genetically engineered environments and future generations in an unforeseeable and uncontrollable way. Their release is genetic pollution and is a major threat because GMOs cannot be recalled once released into the environment. Because of the commercial interest, the public is being denied the right to know about GE ingredients in the food chain and therefore losing the right to avoid them despite the presence of labeling laws in certain countries. Biological diversity must be protected and respected as the global heritage of humankind and one of our world's fundamental keys to survival. Governments are attempting to address the threat of GE with international regulations such as biosafety protocol. Scientists have developed a genetically engineered insect resistant Bt rice variety. Genetically engineered insect resistant Bt rice has not yet been approved for cultivation anywhere in India. Inward. There is neither environmental assessment nor human food safety assessment available for any GEBT rice. However, studies from other GEBT crops such as maize and cotton give strong indications that BT rice will have serious environmental consequences and that are human food safety concerns. GE insect-resistant Bt rice varieties are developed to be resistant to certain pests such as leaf folder and yellow stem borer 1. Bt crops are created by inserting a synthetic version of a gene from the naturally occurring soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis into the plant's own DNA. So the plant creates its own toxin to destroy pests. Greenpeace opposes this new variety of GEBT rice on various grounds. Now let us move to the next point, to eliminate toxic chemicals. Toxic chemicals in our environment threatens our rivers and lakes, our air, land and oceans, and ultimately ourselves and our future. The production, trade, use and release of many synthetic chemicals is now widely recognized as a global threat to human health and environment. Yet the world's chemical industries continue to produce and release thousands of chemical compounds every year, in most cases with none or very little testing and understanding of their impact on people and environment. Governments and industries have failed to control the spread of dangerous chemicals around the globe. So widespread are man-made hazardous chemicals in our environment. In our homes and in our products we use every day that we are constantly exposed to polluting substances. As a result, even our own bodies are contaminated. Expansion of the global market for electrical and electronic products continues to accelerate while the lifespan of the product is dropping, resulting in a corresponding explosion in electronic scrap. UNEP reports that in every year 20 to 50 million electrical or electronic equipment waste, e-waste, is generated worldwide, which brings serious risk to human health and environment. This rapidly growing e-waste stream presents additional difficulties because a wide range of hazardous chemicals are or have in the past been used in components of electrical and electronic devices, and these subsequently create substantial problems with regard to handling, recycling, and disposal of obsolete products. Greenpeace analysis of the man-made hazardous chemical in consumer product, house dust, rainwater, and blood added to the growing documentation that man-made chemicals are out of control, threatening our health and environment. It urges the international community to substitute hazardous chemicals with safer material. The European Union, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and several states of the USA have introduced legislation making producers responsible for their end-of-life products. The EU has banned the use of certain hazardous substances in electrical and electronic products from July 2006 to facilitate safer recycling. For the present, however, the e-waste recycling sector in many parts of the Asia remains largely unregulated. Now let us move to the next point, end nuclear threat. The nuclear age began in July 1945 when the US tested their first nuclear bomb near Alamogordo, New Mexico. A few years later, in 1953, President Eisenhower launched his Atoms for Peace program at the United Nations amid a wave of unbridled atomic optimism. However, the use of nuclear power has never been peaceful. Almost half a century after Eisenhower's speech, the planet is left with the legacy of nuclear waste, which will be radioactive for tens and hundreds and thousands of years. Nuclear installations, whether military or civil, have a sad record of accidents and incidents shrouded in cover-ups, lies, and misinformation. Radiation released into the environment has led to the contamination of soil, air, rivers, and oceans, causing cancer and other diseases in people. Greenpeace is campaigning to end nuclear power, reprocessing, and waste dumping. Greenpeace was born when a group of peace activists tried to sail into the US nuclear weapons testing zone near Amchitka, Alaska in 1971. Although Greenpeace could not prevent that nuclear test, it could turn a world opinion against the nuclear testing. Now let us move to the next point, promoting sustainable trade. Greenpeace opposes the current from the globalization that is increasing corporate power. According to them, the World Trade Organization promotes free trade for the gain of the private interest over and above our health and the environment. It is fatally flawed and is moving the world in the wrong direction, away from peace and security and sustainability. By stalling on issues that are crucial to poorer countries. The World Trade Organization (WTO) faces a crisis of legitimacy. They demand that the WTO adopts a policy of trade that truly works for all and that preserves and restores the environment. They support global environmental standards and argue that the governments must work to achieve sustainable development, which means integrating three things: environmental, social, and economic priorities. Now, the next point is abolishing nuclear weapons. The Cold War may be over, but this does not mean nuclear weapons were disappeared. Far from it, there are over 30,000 nuclear weapons in the world, with more than thousands of them ready to launch at a moment's notice, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Over 400 reactors in warships and nuclear submarines are still circling the globe. Some are rotting away at the bottom of the ocean or at the distant port somewhere in Russia. Accidents such as the Russian submarine, the Kursk, tragically sinking in the Baltic Sea, can happen any day, anywhere. Over 2,000 nuclear weapon tests have left a legacy of global and regional contamination. People living near the test sites have suffered from cancers, stillbirths, and miscarriages and other health effects, and are still suffering today. Many had to leave their hometown or Iceland as it became too contaminated to live there. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.